Another ex-ECHL player graduates to the NHL. A veteran player hangs up his skates. And the second round of the Kelly Cup playoffs brings even more intensity to this edition of ECHL Week. The second round of the Kelly Cup playoffs is underway and the battling is fierce. Let's get right to it. In the West, top-seeded Alaska had a little extra time waiting for Stockton to eliminate Las Vegas in a grueling 7-game series. The Aces cruised to a victory in Game 1 of this round. Let's check out the highlights from Game 2 with Josh Bogorad on GCI and KFQD.
To the right side, Imbo, right circle, a wrist shot. Ducking underneath it was Waugh. Rides the wall to Ponich at the left point. Now in front, Hughes shoots, he scores! A broke puck skipped to the low slot. Hughes found it and went left corner past Waugh. Power play goal and the Aces lead 1-0. Look like it's just not going to be your power play, and then an innocent looking dump by Brett Ponich that was probably a dozen feet wide of the net, bounces off the legs of Daniel Gibb. Johnny on the spot. Hughes is there. Nothing. Alaska leads Game 2. Here's Bobby Hughes shorthanded, and Hughes right circle with some space. A shot. He scores! A shorthanded goal. Hughes' second tally of the game. 2-0 Aces. And then 4:03 later, kind of a parting of the seas, so he pulls up from inside the top of the right circle and beats Olivier Waugh with a wrist shot. Mike Little was with him, kind of just let him go, and Hughes finding one. And a nice job of penalty killing there for the Aces, who are 3 for 3 on the kill. An outlet feed, Aces gave it away. Here's Reed and a slap shot score. An outlet feed from Corey Savret, caromed off the legs of Harrison, right to Reed. Hunt, he'll toss in from the red line, race for the puck. Hunt got turned off by Savret. Puck is loose behind the Alaska cage. Savret had it pickpocketed by Clark. Clark shielding the puck, moves it on the right hash marks, up to the point, and a shot deflected, score! Garrett Hunt redirecting it, bottom of the slot, up and over Coleman. And 2 minutes into the third period, the Thunder have clawed back and tied this game at 2. Hunt's name being called over the loudspeaker brings a chorus of boos. The Aces penalty killing unit surrendering just one power play goal against in these entire playoffs. They were #1 in the regular season, #2 here in the postseason. Right wing side, Imbo to Hughes, cuts to the slot, he shoots and he scores! The hat trick for Bobby Hughes reclaims Alaska's lead. It's 3-2. Power play goal, shorthanded goal, even strength goal. Sheds Garrett Hunt, and from the inside of the right circle, high stick side on Olivier Waugh. Completing the trifecta, Bobby Hughes, wrist shot goal. Right wing side, dumping in, Stockton, Ponich, using the body to shield Hayes' pursuit of the puck, but turned over up the wall. Berglund keeps it in. Now worked left wing circle, a shot, and Hayes scores from the bottom of the left circle. Snuck it in as Coleman was a little late getting over to his right. Hayes ties the game with 7:45 to go in the third. Ryan Hayes, the Game 7 hero. 8 points in the opening round. The point night in Game 7, snuck one through as he gets the equalizer, the second one of the period for the Thunder. And on the draw, it's pulled back by the Aces, but Berglund catches up first for the Thunder. He got rubbed out along the wall by Curry. Levesque launches Ponich, and Hunter back for Levesque, turning off the right circle to the blue line. Little, a shot deflected wide. Rebound scored on the doorstep. Matt Berglund under lead for the first time tonight with 4:45 left in the third. Berglund, who missed game one, scores the biggest goal of the game. He was just able to reach in behind Curry and stuff it in while straddling the end line. The Thunder scoring 2 straight goals in the third, this one at 15-15. And Alaska down for the first time in the night. It is pulled back by the Thunder. Aces steal, try and play out in front. Puck is loose, jabbed out into the corner it goes. 30 seconds left. Evan Trupp in the corner, tied up by Little, picked up, cleared, down at the empty net and in. And the Stockton Thunder from 200 feet away score to make it 5-3, and they are going to come from behind and beat the Alaska Aces in game 2.
You know, anytime a team knocks you out in playoffs, you remember that, and they're the ones that sent you home. And you know, you definitely got to get up for playing teams like that put you away the year before. But you know, if you can't get up for playing a team like Alaska, then you know you shouldn't be here, because it's an exciting place to play, and there's good fans here.
We're just getting started. There are 3 more series to check out as ECHL week rolls on.
From opening night until the Kelly Cup is raised, watch every game of the 2012-13 ECHL season exclusively on AmericaOneSports.com. Catch the action live or on demand. Games available on your PC, Mac, or mobile device. The biggest goals, hardest hits, and spectacular saves all season long can be found only at AmericaOneSports.com, the official broadband broadcaster to the ECHL.
The Ontario Reign were undefeated in the opening round of the playoffs when they swept Utah. For Idaho, a 6-game series victory over Colorado might have taken a toll. Let's see what happens in the opener of this matchup. Here are Jesse Liebman and John Hoven to call the action on OntarioReign.com.
To Berube. Now alongside for Sheehan. Chipped ahead by Case. The penalty for Walker is about over, and we're almost at full strength. In front, and the Steelhead shoot, and they score.
Berube just couldn't get himself settled there.
And already we see Idaho go up 1-0. It looked as if it was Austin Fighton who had gathered his own rebound and finally was able to stuff it past a sprawled J.F. Berube. Osworth wins the draw, now getting it into the corner. No one there for Ontario. Ferry gathers it and chips it up along the glass out to the neutral zone. It's settled at the red line, though, by Eric Springer. Springer making his way to the blue line, but broken up there, and a 2-on-1 situation developing here. Shaber with the puck now to Grunch. He shoots and he scores.
Yeah, that 2-on-1 quickly became a 3-on-1, and Berube was just purely outnumbered at that point. The shot came right between the top of the 2 circles and found its way to the back of the net very quickly.
Lamoureux lining up, of course, against the captain of the Steelheads, Ben Andrus. Lamoureux out now. Loses the draw. Andrus gets it back for Ryder, now to Coyle. And Lamoureux takes a hit now. He's down on his knees, clutching his head.
They got him, too.
And Andrus, though, being escorted by one of the linesmen to the penalty box. Lamrou in some obvious pain here, clutching the side of his left ear. Looks as if he might have taken a high stick there, I believe was the case, John. What did you see?
Well, actually, Lamrou, it looked to me, threw the first punch or elbow, if you will, and then was on the receiving end. And as often is the case, the retaliation is what was noticed by the referee. And the former Toronto Maple Leaf, played about 50 games in the NHL, has gone to the back.
And Andres will be done for the night as he has been escorted to his locker room. To the glove side of Beskorowany, won by Bosworth. Back to Ebert. Now Brock Sheehan with a shot. Deflected in front. He shoots. He scores! The Reign now cut the deficit to 1 goal. It was tipped in front on a shot from Brock Sheehan. And I believe we're going to see DJ King get credit with that one. And you see on the replay, Brock Sheehan making his way to the left side. His shot from long range tipped by DJ King. And this one comes all the way out. Ontario making their way back. Foster is down in the Reign zone. Lamrou, though, looking to set up Springer with a shot. He shoots, and this one goes off wide of the net. The net almost knocked off of its moorings, but Lamrou able to steady it for Ontario. In the slot, Couture with the shoots. He scores! We're tied up! Derek Couture, the captain, strikes again!
You know, we talked about it earlier tonight, Jesse. You need your big guns to come up big. Derek Couture might have scored the biggest goal of the season right there. They're getting outplayed tonight. They were down 2-0. You get a power play goal, and then Derek Couture ties the game once again. Late game heroic.
As you see on the video replay, Lamrou working his way around the boards. He was able to feed Couture just above the right circle and into the slot. Couture fired one home. Into the neutral zone. Burt takes a whack at it, and now making his way back towards the other end. He takes a hit up high, and Cameron Burt is clutching his face in pain. He gets up, though. Back to the blue line for Carroll. He's knocked off the puck. Braun with a shot. He shoots and he scores. Tyler Braun wins it in overtime for the Steelheads. He gets his second of the night. And Idaho takes a 1-0 series lead.
We've just got to come ready to play our style of game. You know, if we get sucked into playing their style, then you know, we get out of our element. So, you know, I think for this team especially, it's just about being focused, being prepared, and playing playing edgy. You know, we're a good hockey team, but we're inconsistent, and that doesn't, you know, that doesn't translate well into playoff series. So, you know, it's good to split here on the road, you know, but you know, our goal is to win every game.
You know, Idaho is a good team, and you know, we got to make sure we come out, we're ready. You know, they like to run and gun, and you know, flip a lot of pucks out to the neutral zone, so we got to be aware of that. And, you know, we got to make sure that every shift we're ready for battle. It's a long series, you know. It's going to be long, hard battles, and it's something that we have to make sure that we're ready to compete, because that is a good club over there. They've proven it all year. We've always had battles with them, and it's going to be our 3 games in Idaho. So, you know, whether it's time off or not, you know, we're in a game now. We're in a series here now, and we got to be prepared for that.
You know, I think that's how playoff goes. You know, some series or some games you'll have one line going, another line you'll have another line going. So we've, you know, we have guys that have stepped up their game, absolutely. I think we still have more in the tank. So I'm looking forward to seeing what guys will do when we do come up against some adversity.
Up next, both the Eastern Conference semifinals get started, and another ECHL alumnus makes it to the show. ECHL Week continues.
So many reasons to be a fan, so many ways to show it. Customize your own at shop.nhl.com.
Former Cincinnati Cyclones forward Kevin Henderson became the 508th former ECHL player to appear in a National Hockey League game when he recently saw action for the Nashville Predators. Henderson, a fourth-year pro, scored a first-period goal in his Major League debut. He saw about 13 minutes of ice time for the Predators in their game against Chicago. Nashville lost the game in overtime 5-4. Henderson skated in 2 games for Cincinnati during the 2011-12 season. The Toronto native becomes the 11th former Cyclones player to skate in an NHL game and the 2nd this season. What figures to be among the toughest conference semifinal series is Reading, the regular season conference champs, against Florida, the defending Kelly Cup winners. The Everblades took the opener of the series on enemy ice. Let's take a look at Game 2 highlights with Mark Thompson and Pat Richards on CBS Sports Radio 1240 AM.
And Florida work with the man advantage. This Pistilli is dropped to the neutral zone, picked off by Kirk McDonald. He's behind the goal, makes his move, shoots, scores! Short-handed goal for Kirk McDonald on a giveaway at defensive blue line by the Florida Everblades, and Reading's up 1-0. 8 minutes and 14 seconds into the first period of play. A short-handed goal by Kirk McDonald.
What a magnificent play. It was a good play to break it up and tip it beyond the defenseman. But McDonald just undressed Deckert and put it into the top of the net for a 1-0 lead, a shorthanded goal.
Long pass up ice by Matera. At offensive blue line, he had Kashirski. Unfortunately, the pass was in his skates. Couldn't take it cleanly, Pat Richards, because he was behind everybody and would have been off to the races.
It would have been a clear breakaway from the blue line in, but it just hit his right skate. It was a hard pass. He couldn't kick it to his stick as he was skating in the opposite direction from where the pass came.
Tifu scores! Power play goal for Yannick Tifu. A shot off the top of the left circle through traffic, and Reading's up 2-0. Little snapper by Yannick Tifu. Seeing eye snapper, and Reading's up by a couple.
Face off in the neutral zone. On to take it for Reading is Ethan Cox, who's got O'Connor on his left in this shift, and on his right, Alex Berry. Face off controlled, however, by Florida. Cornell jams it in the offensive end. Puck loose at the left side of the Royals' net. There's going to be a penalty, and they score. Florida sneak one through. David Rutherford is able to sneak it under Markawuya and in on the delayed penalty. And it's a 2-1 game now. Time of the goal, 15:59 into the first period of play.
Markawuya had an opportunity to corral that puck. Came from his right. I think it deflected off his own stick.
Play underway in the second. Kashirski with it. Wide right.
Hits Tifu coming down the middle. Shot out in front. Score! It was Brett Fleming who shot it. It's Tifu who scores it. And Reading's up 3-1. 18 seconds into the second period of play. It was Fleming joining the rush. He took a shot from wide on the right side. It ricocheted off Tifu and into the net. And Reading's up 3-1.
Yannick Tifu was in the blue paint. It looked to me like it deflected in off his skate.
Oh, and he just made a brilliant stop on Ian O'Connor at the right side of the net after a shot from left point taken by Dominic Jalbert. Here goes the scrum out in front of the Florida goal. Getting taken down was Barry Almeida, and there's going to be a tilt. It's Charles Landry, and he's locked on with Ian O'Connor. O'Connor, with the shirt over his head, just landed punches on Charles Landry. Landed about 5 as he went down in a row.
They were on both sitting, and O'Connor had the right hand free, and I accounted the same way. He popped him square on the bridge of the nose 5 times. And Landry, we'll see if he's going to go to the locker room for repairs. Right on the 5-minute mark remaining in this period, and Ian O'Connor with a TKO over Charles Landry.
Chuck, right point with possession. He just had a breakaway opportunity on Markawuya and was thwarted. Trevino, right half wall, looks back up high, cross ice instead. Little diagonal down pass that time. A nice little pass by Brace, missed its mark. With it in the high slot because Trevino steps in and drills one home. It's a 3-2 game. Power play goal for the Florida Everblades. Corey Trevino, a hot blast out of the right circle, makes it a 3-2 game with 4:24 remaining in regulation time. Just a hot rocket that beat Awuya low glove side, and it's 3-2.
They were able to get that diagonal pass through the box.
Coach Corvo will stay with Cox, McDonald, and Berry. Florida win face-off and control the puck into the zone. Comes Ratchuk, works it near side to Rutherford. Threads one towards the hits the side of the cage. Loose, sent out in front. Puck loose there. Taking a whack at it was Waugh. Cleared by the Royals, but not out. Kept alive by Florida. 8 seconds remaining in regulation time. Ratchuk in the high slot, turning towards the middle. Little wrister, doesn't make it through. Puck loose out in front. Trying to clear his material. He does. Royals win!
Learn, but we have to realize in the second round the learning curve is getting shorter and shorter right now, and if we want to do something, then we need everyone, treating it like it is all it's important in their lives.
Obviously all year we work here to get a high seed and position ourselves nice for the playoffs, and obviously we want to get called up to the ECHL as individuals as well, but when you battle so hard with these guys for so long, I want to come down here and play the playoffs with these guys and take this as deep as we can.
One more playoff series to cover, plus a longtime skater calls it a career. That's next on ECHL Week.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
I'm a legend. I'm the player you want to be. I'm the name you'll wear on your jersey. I'm one of a kind. You'll see me everywhere. On the ice. Online. On the All-Star team. Take a good look. I'm the future.
Veteran Fort Wayne center and player assistant coach Colin Chalk has announced his retirement after a 15-year playing career, which included 10 seasons with the Comets. Chalk won 5 league titles during his career with Fort Wayne. He was also a 4-time league Best Defensive Forward of the Year and was named Comets Team MVP on 5 occasions. During his career, he played in 6 minor pro leagues in North America and saw action with Tallahassee, Jacksonville, and Wheeling in the ECHL, in addition to Fort Wayne. His off-ice contributions to the Fort Wayne community and youth hockey were also significant. He completed this past season as a player assistant coach. He retires as the second-ranking Comet with 500 assists, and he's third all-time with 684 points. He played 588 games in the regular season with Fort Wayne. As if playing North Division champ Cincinnati wasn't difficult enough, the Gwinnett Gladiators have an extra challenge. As a result of other commitments in their arena, they're only scheduled for 2 home games in this series, the first 2. Here's the Game 1 recap with Dustin Bixby calling the action on WDUN.
Right side, flipped into the corner, got it along. Jones to Jackson, whipped across to Guimard. Guimard back to Jackson. Jackson across the blue line, whipped down, low shot, score! Puck deflected in front, the Gladiators a 1-0 lead! So Jackson, that was deflected by the defenseman up high, and so the Gladiators with the 1-0 lead, that thing got deflected up high. Jackson will get credit for the marker. Face-off back at center ice with 19:37 remaining here in this third period. Gladiators Donald, rink-wide pass far side. Gladiators will step ahead. Now with it, it's knocked down, brought in by Reed, near side. Cyclones in, they score. Just over the shoulder of Domingue, it was Lewis able to jam it in, and we're tied at 1 with 37 seconds gone by here in this period. Lewis, just a little laser up over the shoulder of the netminder Domingue from the left side, and he beat the netminder, and Domingue beat again from out high. Here comes Haddad back through center, got it along Bowers. Bowers back across Minardo. Minardo in, shot score! Minardo with the marker, answers right away, it's 2-1 Gwinnett! He did lead the CCHA in goals scored this season, and Minardo shows why. Down the left wing side, just whipped it by Hauser, and Minardo with the marker gives the Gladiators the 2-1 lead. Try to get back to it, he can, and now he'll just chop back down the wing. Gladiators tap it away, and jammed out was Wilson. Puck into the corner, Fanagi. Fanagi in his skates, puck back behind the net. Guimau watching. Cyclones dropping off behind the net. Centering feet in front, they score. With it right in the slot was Vive, and the Gladiators right now a 2-2 tie here in this third period. Gladiators dance back around, and Cincinnati able to just work right around. Gwinnett just watching down there, thinking that's going to go to Wilson behind the net. Nobody on the man in front, and it was Vive in the slot all by himself. And here come the Cyclones the other direction with the net empty. Cincinnati back behind their own net. In front is McDonald. McDonald off the wing, and here comes Pecan. Pecan through center. Pecan to the line and over. Pecan dancing in. Shot, he scores. Pecan on the delayed goal, and the Gladiators, they trail it now by a 3-2 score here to the Cyclones. Cincinnati did this against the Gladiators back in February. The Gladiators had the lead through two hard-fought periods, and Cincinnati just able to pick the Gladiators apart as they did in February. Now Guimau after the play. Wilson in there as well. Foss for Cincinnati, as well as Hanley. And now Haddad takes a shot to the face. Bowers gets in there as well. Everybody gets into it. Jones takes a shot to the face from Wilson. Jones and Wilson go at it. Jones and Wilson end up on the ice. Wilson just firing away at Doug Jones, and the linesmen, they've got their hands full as Piero Zabatel and Wilson. The referee has his hands full as well. Haddad tied up. Jones will try to head off the ice, and Wilson will go. We'll have to see if he ends up available for the next game, as Jones got jumped, and the Cyclones now pushing and shoving, everybody going at it. We got everybody lined up along the red line here between these two clubs. Murovich out there as well. And the referees and linesmen, they've got a challenge here with these two teams trying to keep them apart. Pecan just waving here on the near side, taunting. And Jeff Miller telling everybody to get off the ice for Cincinnati. The Gladiators out there as well. So the referee, Jeff Miller, and now Vive being told to get back to his bench. Things very ugly here at the end of this contest. And Andy Brandt over there, he's got a couple of Cyclones players jawing on the far side. The referee, Jeff Miller, has his hands full. Donald comes in as well. And Jared Scaldi pulling players out of the pile for Cincinnati. The Gladiators not crossing that red line, and Cincinnati still chirping away at Gwinnett. And Joey Haddad on the bench. Andy Brandt still firing away, as well as head coach Jared Scaldi.
There's no better place to keep track of the Kelly Cup playoffs. Make sure to join us next time as we wrap up the conference semifinals. Until then, make it a good week. Make it an ECHL week.